no one should suffer the loss of life, liberty, or dignity that the Palestinian people have suffered under the Netanyahu and previous administrations in Israel during the 50-year occupation.
To read the statements from President Biden, Secretary Blinken, General Austin, and leaders of both parties, you'd hardly know Palestinians existed at all.
So I must ask, when we defend Israeli citizens' right to peace and security, how can we at the same time ignore the 5 million Palestinians living under occupation?
The unrestricted, unconditioned $3.8 billion in annual U.S. military aid enables. It gives a green light to Israel's occupation of Palestine.
Palestinians are being told the same thing as black folks in America. There is no acceptable form of resistance.
And the United States must acknowledge its role in the injustice and human rights violations of Palestinians. This is not about both sides.
I remember learning that the same equipment that they used to brutalize us is the same equipment that we send to the Israeli military to police and brutalize.
For too long, America has looked the other way as Israel has engaged in this horrific campaign against Palestinians.
Yet Israel's disproportionate response to Hamas's attacks, destroying entire buildings and public spaces, is exacerbating this horrible cycle of violence.
Several Muslim advocacy groups boycotting the event to protest the White House's support for Israel.
The only leader in the world that we believe that can stop this is President Biden.
Like Israelis, Palestinians also have a right to exist and to defend themselves. But there is no one willing to help them do that. Not the Israeli courts and not the U.S. government.
Members of Congress, for example, who are speaking out, who are publicly, vehemently condemning the human rights violations that the Israeli government is perpetrating against Palestinians.
Well, the American Muslim community was absolutely shocked at the scenes and the footage of this violent attack on Palestinian worshipers and protesters at the Al-Aqsa Mosque.
No more money for Israel's crimes! No more money for Israel's crimes! Not another nickel!
And in light of the shameful, cowardly statements from the Biden administration justifying the murder of Palestinians, we say no.
The Council on American Islamic Relations is leading a pretty large protest, calling on the Biden administration to condemn and oppose these airstrikes.
The Muslim advocacy group, the Council on American Islamic Relations, tweeted earlier that we cannot in good conscience celebrate Eid with the Biden administration while it literally aids, abets and justifies the Israeli apartheid government's indiscriminate bombing of innocent men, women and children in Gaza.